Okay, Google, turn off the light. G'day everyone, Mike Jeffrey here, and that used to be my bedtime routine. Well, up until last month that is. You see, I used to struggle to try and get to sleep at night, and I think it's pretty easy to see why. With a bedtime routine like that, there was no chance that I was ever going to get straight to sleep. I've always been a very restless sleeper, but not someone who struggles sleeping, more someone that struggles to get to sleep. I can often lie there for half an hour before I actually get to sleep at night, which eats away at the hours that I do have to sleep, often then waking up in the morning feeling tired, having not slept enough. Something that's always bugged me is the fact that I have no bedtime routine. I can often be sitting on the lounge watching Netflix for 3 hours and it gets to 10 o'clock and I think, I haven't actually achieved anything today. So then I go back to my computer and start to do more work. And then all of a sudden it's midnight and I'm thinking I have to go to bed, but then I never get enough sleep and then I wake up the next morning feeling tired. So I decided to set myself a challenge to try and change my bedtime routine and be able to set habits over the 30 days in February. Now the main part involved in that was trying to find an activity that I could do before bed that would hopefully make myself tired and distract myself enough in order to get to sleep. You see, my brain can often be off thinking about several different things and I find it very hard to get to sleep until I've answered all the questions that I've had for myself for the day. So I need a task that's going to take my mind off those questions and try and put me to sleep. Now normally I would have spent this time just watching TV or scrolling on my phone, but to be honest, that's not the best solution. Really in the end, that wakes me up more than putting me to sleep. So I decided to start reading. Now reading isn't something that I've done a lot, but it is something that I would like to start getting into. So allowing myself to have that time before bed every night is a great way to help build that habit of reading, hopefully every day. I then also challenged myself to try and make sure I was in bed by 10 o'clock every night. Now this was a rather hard task and I wasn't too tough on myself. Obviously I have other obligations outside of my sleep schedule and I have friends that I need to catch up with and I have other things and work that I need to be doing. So I'm not going to cut myself and make sure that I'm in bed by 10 o'clock every night, but pleasingly enough to say I was in bed by about 10:30. Just trying to make sure that I'm in bed by 10 o'clock allows me to have half an hour to read so that hopefully I can be asleep by 10:30 and have the 8 hours sleep that I feel that I need every night. And the last one, and something that I think is a really big one for me, and something that I think will help, is having no phones in bed. I can often fall into a trap of thinking that it's okay to just sit on my phone and scroll in bed 15 to 20 minutes before I sleep. But really, we both know that that's waking me up more than putting me to sleep. So leaving my phone across the room, having my alarm set, leaving it on the other side of the room so that it's there to wake me up in the morning and it's not distracting me before bed, I think is a great idea. So how did the challenge go? Well, to be honest, I would say it was pretty successful. I would say 9 times out of 10, I was at least in bed before 10:30. I think that was probably the greatest achievement, to be in bed by 10:30, allowing me to have enough time to have my 8 hours sleep before the morning, so I'm not waking up extremely tired. In terms of reading my book, I did read my book most nights. Every night that I was able to read my book, that I didn't come home just terribly exhausted, I read my book. I didn't put restrictions on how long I had to read my book for. There was no time limit. I didn't have to read for half hour. I tried to allow myself half hour, but I didn't have to read for that. If I was feeling exhausted, I might only read 1 to 2 pages of the book and then put it down and go to bed. Other nights, I read for half hour. I read a whole chapter of the book. And then afterwards, I seemed to go to sleep pretty easily. It sort of took my mind off that initial thinking for the day and calmed me down to go to sleep. So if one thing did work, it was reading before bed. And thirdly, having no phones in bed. Well, that one was probably the easiest one. Just easy just to leave it on the side table before bed, but it's amazing how the easy task can make a big difference. I replaced that need to scroll on my phone with reading my book. So overall, I would say this month has been a great success. I'd say I've woken up most mornings feeling a lot more energized than I was before. I've become more in routine. I feel like now, even moving into the next month, I've even continued on reading before bed because now it's actually something that I quite enjoy, and also find that I can't really go to sleep without reading now. So that is the end of this video, guys. I know it was quite a short one, but I hope you did get something out of that discussion. And let me know down below, have you tried to change your bedtime routine? And what are some of the things that you tried to do each night before bed? That's the end of this one, guys. See you later.